when this chart drops, it's really time to pay attention. This chart right here is the Bitcoin dominance. And when it falls, like it has been recently, smart money starts flowing in to altcoins. And that's how altcoin season begins. Altcoin seasons creates massive opportunities to make money, but they also have some serious risks. So after going through this cycle before, I will show you how to spot the winners, but also how to avoid the traps and position yourself for maximum returns. But alright, so the very first thing we need to learn about is, of course, what is, an altcoin season in the first place. And in simple terms, altcoin season is basically when altcoins outperform Bitcoin in price gains. And this usually happens when money flows from Bitcoin into altcoins, right? And here, one of the main ways we can see that an altcoin season is starting is by looking at the Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance is basically how large or what is the share of Bitcoin compared to the total crypto market. So when Bitcoin dominance goes down, it means that Bitcoin is a smaller part of the total market, which is a bullish sign for the altcoin season. So yet another point here is that in altcoin seasons, investors chase higher returns, and usually the longer the altcoin season goes on, investors take more and more risk. It's almost like, many times it actually acts as a financial bubble, right? People take more and more risk, and then eventually the bubble bursts. But alright, so now let's actually take a look at some key indicators to spot altcoin season. So how do we know that we are in an altcoin season? Well, once again, the first thing you want to look out for is a falling Bitcoin dominance, because this is a sign that money is flowing into altcoins. And now you might of course wonder, how do I find the Bitcoin dominance chart? Well, personally, I use TradingView for all my sort of financial analysis, whether it's technical analysis or fundamental analysis, and to find all my charts. So in TradingView, to find Bitcoin dominance, you just go up here to the upper left corner where it says symbol search, and you can either search for BTC.D, I think BTC.D, or you can just search for Bitcoin dominance like this, and it should appear. And then you press on market cap, BTC dominance. And by the way, guys, if you for some reason haven't gotten started with TradingView yet, I do actually have a special TradingView link. You can use that link to get TradingView Premium for free for 30 days. And if you later on decide that you want to upgrade, you will also get a $15 bonus. So if you don't have TradingView yet, definitely make sure to use that link. But here, now we are looking at Bitcoin dominance, and you can actually see that just recently, the last couple of days, Bitcoin dominance has been breaking some key short term. You can see that in the short term, we have actually been in a pretty significant slow and steady uptrend. So this is definitely an early indication that we might be entering a altcoin season. However, if we look historically, let's go to the monthly chart here. You can still see that Bitcoin dominance is at relatively high levels compared to, for example, down here in 2021 and down here in the altcoin season 2017, 2018. So we do have a lot to go, but right now we are starting to see some early signs of an altcoin season. But now, yet another thing you can definitely pay attention to is the altcoin market cap. So when we see, the total altcoin market cap going up, that is yet another key indication. Yet another thing to pay attention to is ETH/BTC. So this is basically Ethereum measured in BTC. So when this goes up, it basically means that Ethereum is beating Bitcoin. And that is usually a strong sign of an altcoin season. What I also look out for in altcoin seasons is that I like to see altcoin volume spikes. So lots of trading volume, in simple terms, indicates more interest. So when we see sort of more people interested in altcoins, we will see a rise in volume. So an early rise in volume can definitely be a sign. Another thing that definitely should not be underestimated is that the crypto sentiment turns bullish. So maybe you are more of a trader that follows news and so on and so on. You can definitely, follow how the sentiment is on social media platforms like Twitter, X, and, other social media platforms and news sites and so on and so on. Basically following the general sentiment. Another specific thing you can look out for is something called the Altcoin Season Index. And according to this index, if 75% of the top altcoins beat Bitcoin over the last 90 days, we are considered in an alt season. So for example, if we look at this index, we can see that currently around 31 altcoins has been outperforming Bitcoin over the last 90 days, around 31 of the top performing altcoins. So we are not in an altcoin season yet, according to this index, because as you can see, in order to really reach the altcoin season, we need to pass this 75 mark. But this, you can look at this and see it as, a bad thing that, we are not in an altcoin season yet. Or this can actually be looked at as more, as opportunity, because this means that you can potentially position yourself early, long before the real altcoin season begins. And by the way, guys, if you're looking for a platform to start trading altcoins today, and at the same time get more free bonuses the more you trade, then I highly recommend Bybit. As you can see right here, you can, by using my special link, you can get more bonuses the more you trade. So I will make sure to leave this link both in the description of this video and the pinned comment. It's very simple to use. You just do a simple sign up. You want to make sure that this code is applied right here to get your free bonus. And also, guys, if you want to learn more about Bybit, I actually have a full Bybit tutorial. So definitely check that one out if you want to get started and start trading altcoins today. But all right, so now let's switch the attention and take a look at when does the altcoin season start and end. And first of all, the altcoin season often starts after Bitcoin has had a big run and then cools off. So right now, if you have been following Bitcoin, you know that Bitcoin is in a big run towards the upside. And the real altcoins, at least historically, has usually happened when, after Bitcoin has been running, then perhaps Bitcoin starts to go sideways for a while. And this can sort of leave room for altcoins to rise. So it's possible, that we are in this Bitcoin run before the altcoin season appears right now. And another important factor here is that first, large cap altcoins like Ethereum tends to move. And after this happens, then the smaller altcoins tend to follow. So it usually goes like Bitcoin, then the larger altcoins, and then at the end, when risk is high, the smaller altcoins tend to follow. But now, and this is very important, at least as important is of course to know when the altcoin season ends. And here are a few signs. The first and most obvious sign is that at the very top of the altcoin seasons, we tend to see altcoins make parabolic gains. And parabolic gains basically means when the chart starts to look something like this, like a sort of parabol right here. So that is a slight warning sign. Another thing you can start to look out for is that Bitcoin dominance start to slowly rise again, right? when Bitcoin dominance sharply start to rise again, that can be yet another warning sign. And another warning sign, this one is a bit more vague, but you can definitely look out for sort of excessive hype, both in the charts, but also on social media and the general sentiment. All right, guys, now we're going to take a look at some ways to make money during the altcoin season. And we do have quite a few slides left. I also want to talk about some risk management, some past altcoin seasons and more. But I do see that this video is getting quite long right here. So I think I will wrap this video up right here. But if you're interested in getting this full presentation and lots of other things like exclusive videos, additional material, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking join down below. As I said, by becoming a channel member, you will get access to this presentation and many other similar presentations from other videos. You will get exclusive videos, and at the same time you support the channel and the work I'm doing here, and you will also get a very nice community. So if that sounds interesting, please consider becoming a channel member. And now guys, if you want to take your crypto trading to the next level, I actually have a full crypto trading course right here on YouTube. To access it, you simply click or tap on the screen right here. I hope I will see you all over there very, very soon.